Aquarius, the October energies are upon us. Are you ready? Let's have an aligned astro chat about it. Hello all, I'm Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive and welcome to your Transformational Tarot for October for Aquarius. And oh my God, are you guys ready? This energy is very weird. That's the best way I can put it. Though, of all of the astrological signs, I want to say Aquarius does weird best. So I think you guys are going to handle yourselves very, very well. And all the rest of us are going to be coming to you for some support. We are going to pull an overarching theme for you guys today from the Sweet Ass Affirmations 2 from Rage Create. And then I am pulling cards today for you guys from the Tarot of the Holy Spectrum from James Voorhees. I apologize, I don't have a box for it. It's a box in my garage. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so yes, I feel like this is going to be energetically a month where you're gonna, it is gonna be weird, but you're gonna find your way and you're gonna find your flow. Yeah. My creative babies protect the galaxy from fear. Yes, I feel like this is a month where you are going to be really stepping into your creative power, your creative flow. This is a month where I also feel like you might be doing a little more hermiting than normal, pulling out of, the general society, general population, not so much for recharge as much as I feel like to do these creative things. And then you do that little pocket where you hermit and then you go out and you share the creative energy with the world. So I'm not saying that this is a month where you will be hermiting all the time, but I do feel that you will have pretty strong moments of hermiting energy. And I feel like a lot of that is because you are ready to birth some different projects into being. And PS and FYI, creative doesn't always have to mean what, like textbook version of creativity is, like, paintbrush and canvas and, all of the palette of the colors and things of that nature. We all have the ability to be creative within all of our own strengths and our own skill sets. So definitely feeling that you are this month going to be doing a lot of that hermiting energy and coming out the other side, having birthed these beautiful creative babies. And it's going to bring a lot of joy and, again, a lot of protection out and about in the world. But I do feel that you are going to need to kind of pull away from society in order to help society. That's kind of the energy that I'm feeling here right off the hop. All right. So presently, where are you right now in your transformational journey? What part of you is shifting, rising, or dissolving? Interesting. You've been feeling a little slow, maybe feeling a little slow and steady wins the race, maybe also feeling a bit of a lack of motivation, feeling kind of tired of having to, lift up the entire planet for those around you. I definitely feel it's not overwhelmed as much as it's just like tired of the responsibilities or tired of, sometimes I get this way where I just get sick and tired of like doing the day-to-day humdrums of life. Obviously I love my fur babies and they need food, but the routine sometimes can get exhausting. Like, oh, okay, I'd rather just stay in bed than, have to get up and, do the whole routine of opening the bag of the food for this one and then getting the right food for that one and getting the right bowl for this. And, sometimes I think it's like complications. We can complicate life so much. And I feel like that's the energy of what I'm getting here is currently you're in that space of like, I'm kind of over the complications. I'm tired. I don't want to have to, kind of do all the humdrum and the mundane. I just don't, I'm not here for it. I don't have the energy for it. So I feel definitely that this energy that you're in right now, I definitely feel that we want to shift it. And I feel that it will be shifting, obviously, this month. But I do feel that a lot of it has to do with really being picky and choosy and discerning about the people you're spending your time with and I want to say the things that you are devoting your energy to, projects over, and I want to say like fun projects over make work projects, for example, to use that as an analogy. I'm also really drawn to the fact that this card is just like all yellow. Yellow is that the sun, the light of truth. Yellow is also the solar plexus chakra, our mastery, identity, personal power, co creation, boundaries, and transformation. Knight of Pentacles typically is like slow and steady wins the race. There's a lot of loyalty here. But not a whole lot of, I want to say, quick movement. This is not the friend that you call up when you need something like this. This is the friend that if you want to meet for dinner at 7 o'clock, you need to tell them that dinner is at 6, and then that they're going to be 15 minutes late at the 7 o'clock time, right? So this is kind of that energy, and I feel like for you right now, you are just, again, you're tired of all of that stuff, and you're really needing to kind of dissolve a lot of that stuff so that you can shift your energy into something that feels a little more motivating, feels a little more like, yes, I have boundaries. I am in the transformational process, and I like who I am, and I'm going to continue to expand in that regard. Interesting. The catalyst for you, what's fueling or hindering your transformation? And is this resistance or rocket fuel? Interesting. Yeah, you need rest. You need rest. So I come right back to what I was saying at the beginning of the reading, right? Like mic drop, boom, my job here is done. I feel very much that the need for rest, whether you're choosing it, craving it, carving it out in your life, or whether this is the kind of rest that comes where the universal frying pan comes over and says, bonk, we've been trying to get you settled. We've been trying to tell you for a couple of months now, but you aren't listening. So now we're going to, hit you with a cold, or we're going to hit you with a sprained ankle, something that kind of forces you to hunker down in place. So for those of you who are like, oh my God, I don't want to get sick, listen to this, just carve out time, and then the universe doesn't have to do that for you, right? The universe doesn't have to do the universal frying pan to the head. But definitely feeling here that some of you, especially business owners, are going to notice, and then just at work in your career, you're going to notice things slowing down a little bit. The workload is not as tumultuous or as much. And business owners, don't get nervous about this. I don't feel like this is like a new trend, and I don't feel like you're not going to, make enough money to pay your bills or, to reach your goals. It just feels like things are going to come in. They're going to trickle in rather than coming in a wave. And I feel like a lot of that has to do with the universe really trying to give you this time to focus on your creative energy, your creative flow. When we are in that creative flow, the places will go. That is when we are in source energy, when we are feeling truly connected to our soul spaces. Otherwise, we're kind of like doing life and we're in our heads all the time. We're doing just to do rather than really being, feeling the energy, working on that spiritual component of ourselves. I like to say not everything has to be about the spiritual thing, but we are in a process of integrating the spiritual. How do we make dishes and laundry more spiritual? How do we integrate that into our lives rather than compartmentalizing it and say, okay, I'm going to go and do, my spiritual woo-woo stuff, for a few hours on a Saturday afternoon. And that, that's good for me for another month or two. No, it's now like I'm living the spiritual life. I'm walking the spiritual path. And I need some rest. In order to do that, I need to kind of check out a little bit from the rest of the world in order to really get clear on who I am and what it is that I'm creating for myself. Deep root. What deep belief, wound, or soul contract is driving this transformation under the surface? Yeah, you have been feeling like you need a new direction. You've been feeling a bit, I'm just going to adjust my camera here a little bit. You've been feeling a bit like you need a different approach, needing a different something new to focus on, something new. I keep hearing this song, Give Me Something to Believe in. Really feeling like this is the feeling, the energy. You've been feeling a bit detached or needing to detach. And I feel like it's okay for you to get in the boat and to, fly off into the sunset, or sail off into the sunset, or row off into the sunset or the sunrise in search of something new. But don't do it at the sacrifice of what you've already got here, because I don't feel like this is stuff that you need to abandon. I don't feel like the things that you have going on in your world are things that you need to stop doing or stop pursuing. I feel like, again, you just need a rest. You need a recharge in order to get a little more clarity. But I do feel like you can bring a little more enthusiasm into your life. I'm really drawn here to the colors, the oranges. Orange is the sacral chakra. It is our sexuality, sensuality, creative expression, and flow, and the ocean of our emotion. And I feel very much that we are talking about that creative flow. You've just not had it. You've been focused on a lot of other things, a lot of other people, a lot of other situations where that creative flow has not been able to fulfill you, to recharge you, to clear your conduit. And I feel that that's what this is coming through, is saying, okay, we're going to choose a little bit of a different path for you. You want a different path. You don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater in order to do that, but you absolutely can carve out time. Notice she's by herself here, right? And she's using the two wands to oar her, to paddle her out to a new, a new place, a new experience. And I feel like, because this is subconscious, you want to bring that to the surface. You want to have a conversation with your guides and say, okay, I understand now, this is what is driving me under the surface. So let me make it, let me bring it to the surface. Let me bring awareness and acknowledgement to this. And let me ask directly, point blank, please bring this to me. Show me the opportunities that I have here. Show me the potentials of what this can be, because I don't want to self-destruct and blow up my life. But I definitely do need something else to believe in, to focus on, to motivate me. It's the second time I've been saying that kind of languaging for you too. So motivation seems to be kind of an important piece for you this month. What is dying away for you right now? What role, pattern, or identity has run its course? Interesting. So yeah, like, I almost get the sense, Aquariuses, that, or Aquarians, that you've kind of come to the end of a road or a path or a way of being, a part of your identity, where, like, you've gone through all the stages and you've come to the pinnacle, right? You've learned all you can learn. You've gone as far as you can go in this regard, and it's time for something new and something different. And that's exactly what I feel like here. So King of Pentacles, it's not saying you're going to lose your foundation, or you're going to lose your money, or you're going to lose your health. It's saying it's time for a graduation. This is the boss battle. You've done the boss battle. And in fact, you thought the boss battle was so cool that you did the boss battle 3 or 4 times. But now you're at the point where, oh my God, if I have to do this boss battle one more freaking time, I'm going to lose my shit. Like, I already know how to pass it. I already know all the little Easter eggs and all the little tricks to get there. Like, I'm bored. I'm over it. I don't want to do the cycle anymore. It's time for something new. And again, there's transformation coming up in here. We talked about that with the Knight of Pentacles and that yellow energy. So King of Pentacles, you're done with the slow. You're done with okay, I've manifested already. So it's time for something new to manifest. You're definitely stepping into, I want to say, a time where you want to challenge yourself. You're going to be challenging yourself to learn something new, learn a new skill, meet new people, connect in a very different way, looking for something new to believe in. And that feels very, very clear to me. So this has run its course, and something new is going to take its place. So speaking of that, what is your highest phoenix potential? What can rise from the ashes? And what is your soul calling you toward? This is your breakthrough energy. I love it. The Judgment card. I mean, we couldn't pick a better card for this. This is awakening. So yes, it's making the absolute choice to say, I'm moving on from this. I'm ready for the new journey. And no, I have no idea. Like she's waking up, right? There are all of these other people who are, having a nap or sleeping, or maybe they've been in suspended animation for some time. She's coming too. No one else has come to yet, but she's coming too because she's made the choice. She's ready. She's ready for the new journey. When we talk about the soul journey, or the fool's journey in the tarot, this is the major arcana journey. The zero is the fool, and the end is the last card of the fool's journey is the world, 21. Well, this is 20. So you're almost at the end of that fool's journey. You're almost at the end of the awareness of what that is. And we always have choice. Did I learn all the lessons that I needed to learn from this? Clearly, yes, you have, because you're like, oh my God, I don't want to have to do this over again. No more Groundhog Day. So you are ready to awaken into something new. And it is the mystery. You don't know what it's going to look like, but you're like, I'm ready for the challenge, because anything but this. And, I want to say a bit of an extreme approach to that. And maybe that's something that you want to look at, or that's something that you're exploring in this particular chapter of your life, is why do I need to go to the extremes in order to feel new motivation? And perhaps that's what's going to be coming up in this next. But yeah, I feel like you might have some trepidation. You might have some fear around what this might be, but you've overstayed your welcome so much with this that you don't care. You're like, okay, anything but this. So that's just kind of interesting. That might not resonate for all of you, that last little bit about being in the extremes. But for some of you, I feel like that's an important message that you might want to look at. My guides have been telling me I needed to move and to change and to shift up a little bit, and I just didn't pay attention to the breadcrumbs. So maybe next time, in this next chapter, when this next chapter starts to get a little like this, I don't get to this point where I've done it 5 times in a row. I only need to do it once, and then I'm ready to move on. What is emerging just around the corner? What energy or experience is coming in to support your next phase? Wow, another knight. Loving this, because knights are about the quest. And you've got the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is the idealist. And I have to point out here with our two of Wands and the direction that you're taking, the Knight of Cups, we have water in both of these cards. So it is about reconnecting to your feelings again, getting passionate about something. Knight of Cups is the idealist, is the grand gesture, the master of the grand gesture, the romantic at heart. And I feel like you need a little bit of this. This is what's going to wake you up. This is going to whet your palate for that new thing, that next generation, or not generation, that next opportunity that you're seeking out. This is going to bring you to this. And I feel like for those of you who are craving a change in your career, in your work environment, October definitely, I feel like the 17th of October seems to be standing out to me. But October is going to present a couple of different opportunities that I want to say are not fully formed. So this might be like your friend tells you that they're getting ready to do a startup company, and they don't have like a specific role in mind for you, but they would love to have you come on board. Can we have a conversation about what might be available to you? I'm just using that as an analogy. So you're going to have some opportunities that aren't quite fully formed, and that may trigger you in some ways to say, well, I don't want to do it then because there's no guarantee. Like, how am I going to, pay the bills and whatever? And, tune in and make sure you're following your spidey senses on that, and be smart about those things. But I also want to say to you, I feel like the reason why they're not fully formed is because you're not fully formed yet either. And so it gives you an opportunity to have a little skin in the game, maybe have a little say in what that journey might be for you. And I definitely feel like it's not fully formed, because that's the whole point. You're not supposed to go into something that or get out of something that you know so well and just turn around and get into something that you know so well. This really is about doing something completely different. And that's going to be a big factor here. So this is definitely opportunity. that is coming up. And you can say no to it if you want, but I encourage you to say yes and to approach it with that idealism, that excitement for the new, the romance of the new, the romance, or allowing yourself to be romanced, to be wined and dined into something new. A business that is really wanting you to come on board. And so they pull out all the stops and they show you all the things to really, kind of invite you in and show you the feeling of what it's like to work there. Allow yourself to be wined and dined. Ooh, that's fun. I'm excited about this for you guys. Aquarius, it's going to be a great month. Support system. Oh, did I skip something? Oh, yes, here we go. You in this process, how are you navigating this transformation? Are you resisting, flowing, grieving, or boldly rising? Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's right. So I feel very much when we get this card, I feel very much that because you are really so ready, you're like, okay, there's no question. I am boldly rising. I am moving into this. I may get in my own way about, the little details of things. But overall, yeah, no, sign me up. Like, stick a fork in me. I'm done with all of this. I'm ready for this next thing. And I find it really interesting that the first two cards out of the gate are slow energy, settle down energy, rest energy, not a whole lot of movement. And now you're getting boom, 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 right? Like we've got the awakening, wake up. You've got the direction card. Now you've got the 8 of Wands, swift release, swift travel into something new. I definitely feel like the 8 energy is what you want to embrace and embody. 8 is about mastery. 8 is about the infinity of the soul. 8 is also abundance. And I feel very much that you are on that path of mastery. You are looking for an abundance of the new. And in order to do that, the motivation comes through. So I definitely feel like whatever you're being called to release in October, release it. Let it go without a second thought. You can acknowledge and grieve it in the moment, but move forward and know that you're moving forward because there's something so much better for you on the other side of it. Honor what you need to honor, though, especially if some of this is leaving people behind. Honor those people, tie up those loose ends, have resolution before you release. You might be doing it on the fly, but what I keep thinking is like you find out, oh my God, I've got an opportunity to move to Europe and I've got less than a week to sort of make it all happen. Well, who are the people on my list that I absolutely have to, even if it's just for a 20-minute coffee, I have to go and see them in person in order to be able to say, thank you for everything that you've been for me. Or, hey, I'm leaving and it's really sudden. And, like, I'm sorry that we don't have a lot of time to talk. I'm hoping that we can, kind of continue things moving forward. Things are going to shift, things are going to change. So acknowledge it. But don't let all of that slow you down either. I feel like you're going to be doing a lot of things in pretty quick succession. And I feel like October, it's like the first third of October, you're acknowledging a lot of this stuff. Then the second third, the middle third of October is when things start to open up. And then the last half or the last third of October, everything is just like it's this energy. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. And that's good. That's what you want. So don't be afraid of it. Lean into it. Circles of support. Who is influencing your transformation right now? And is it a positive or a negative influence? Ooh, the moon. You're influencing this. This is you. This is you. And I want to say this is you keeping a lot of things under wraps, keeping things secret, right? Keeping things personal for you. I love this depiction because normally we have, 2 wolves and a lobster. Here we have a wolf, we have a horse, and we have a stag. And I feel like, that stag, the deers are love and family and connection. The wolves, the lone wolf, the independent aspect of you, but also the protector, wanting to protect, their person. And the horse, the power, the movement forward. So when I'm looking at this, I feel like these are all of the aspects of support that you have. And it's coming from within you. You're tapping into your own power of movement, your own motivation now, and knowing that spirit is going to support you in that. The horse helps you. If you had to walk the journey, it would take a lot longer, but now you've got this powerhouse horse, that is galloping and getting you where you need to be and in partnership with you. It works symbiotically with you. The wolf, you're still maintaining your independence, your lone wolf energy, but you're connecting to your intuition. The moon energy is going to guide you, and it's going to regulate. It regulates the tides, the water. It's going to regulate you. It's regulating your moods. And then the spirit, the deer spirit, that connection to family and love and chosen family, that is that circle of support that is with you now. And you are sitting in your ocean of emotion, but you're sitting in a boat. You're in a rowboat. So the ocean of emotion is not overtaking you. Again, I feel like the moon regulates your emotions. So you're going to feel regulated, not off the cuff. And maybe some of you feel like you have gone off the cuff in previous iterations of transformation. And maybe that's not the way you want to go. I don't feel like that's the way you're going to go this time. What are you dreaming of becoming, and what scares you about actually doing it? So here we have 10 of Swords. Yeah, I feel like you are ready to shed this version of yourself. You're ready to shed this particular aspect of your life, a dead, done, gone, and over with. I don't feel that you're going to have a lot of remorse for it, but I do feel that the fear is that you may not come back or bounce back in exactly the same way, because there are components of who you are or who you've become as a result of what came in the past that you really like, that you want to keep, you want to maintain, and you're worried that by going into this and challenging yourself in this new way, that you're going to lose some of this. And I'm going to say, yes, there are going to be times when it's 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. But I don't feel like this is the kind of fear that needs to hold you back. It's more that maybe it grounds in your resolve, where you say, okay, let me make a list of those things that I really want to keep. I like these things about myself, or I enjoy this part of my life. Then you just make a commitment to yourself to find a way to incorporate that into this next version of you. But you also may have to let go of it for a little while until you get your bearings on this new journey. It's like anything. We have different hobbies in our lives, and those hobbies, I want to say, sometimes we're all into the hobby and we're obsessed about it and we can't get enough, and then other times you go for months or sometimes even years at a time before you are making time for that. And it just means that there are other aspects of your life that are taking precedence at the moment. It doesn't mean that you lose the skill or you lose the joy of it. It simply means there's a time and a place for everything. So I feel like that is just something to consider, something to keep in mind. And we are at the outcome of this, if you stay on course, the outcome of this transformation. Who will you be on the other side of this journey? What is the result of embracing the full cycle of death and rebirth? Page of Swords, interesting. So new thought, that new journey. Everything about your reading has been pointing you in the direction of something brand spanking new. And the Page of Swords is always very curious. Takes that curiosity to the next level. Says, if I need to read up on it or I need to go and physically have the experience, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it with a lot of confidence, and I'm going to do it with a fair amount of enthusiasm, because I don't know enough to get scared. I don't know enough to not be confident. I am very much in that space of student energy and learning. I'm choosing to explore and expand my horizons, because this is what I was built and born to do. And I feel very much that at the end of October, this is where you're going to be. You're going to be recognizing, okay, I have shed a lot of this stuff. I am recognizing that there's some really exciting stuff that is occurring for me. I'm down with it. I've wrapped, some things up that I needed to wrap up. I've I'm confident in leaving behind what it is that I'm leaving behind for this future moving forward. And I don't have any illusions about the fact that I need to have all my ducks in a row in order to move in this direction. I'm going to figure it out as I go because I'm choosing the new journey. That's what I'm craving because I don't want to have to do the boss battle one more freaking time. I'm ready for the new and I'm supported in all of that. Wow. My goodness. Okay, so Aquarius, this is going to be, I want to say, like, of all of the readings that I've done for this month, this one feels the most inspiring. This one feels the most like you've earned this. And it's exciting to be able to step into something new. Now, anytime we do something new, sometimes it can bring up a little bit of fear, trepidation. You know, you are obviously processing through a lot of different things. So if I can be of service in any way, helping lift you up, support you, give you clarity, guidance, whatever you need, please feel free to click the link below and book a session with me. Would love to support you in those ways. Otherwise, I am going to say until we see each other for another segment of Black Feather Couture Divining a VIP Life, sending you so much love, so much support. We will see you on the flip side and transform well.